Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some very interesting stuff. Can the Ecomi token come back, and how could that comeback be? And what is going on with Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin only going down all the time? These are going to be our topics today, and many, many more, and your questions, so stay tuned. So, good morning to all of you. I hope you are doing well. I certainly do after 3 weeks of vacation. So, guys, make sure to smash up the like button right now for the stream, to pump the stream out to more people. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and with the little bell icon ticked, so that you always get notified whenever I upload a video or start a live stream. Now, I want to thank especially my rare hodlers here all around me for always supporting me on this journey, and especially for staying with me, even though, or for granting me this vacation. That is means a lot to me, and I mean, you see how many we have here, so that for sure is cool. Okay, so let's I don't know if you guys can see or hear me, because I didn't see anyone in the chat yet, but probably you are as sleepy as I was only a couple of minutes ago, until I took my first sip of coffee. But we're jumping right in with the action. Oh yeah, there we go. Patrick Bultman is visible. GM finally back. Yep, finally back and ready to go. I want to bring more and more stuff here as the crypto market progresses. On the weekend you saw a couple of videos already, but let's talk about Bitcoin. So what is going on? Bitcoin is ranging. It's unbelievable how people can be so negative in the face of just that little bit of drawdown. I mean, we are above monthly candle close highs still, even though we saw some drawdowns here in the past. It's ridiculous to be negative in this environment. I mean, we have pumped so hard. If you look at that here, let's not even take the bottom. Let's just take where we are right now. That's a 300% pump for Bitcoin out of the bottom over the last year or so. And quite frankly, if we would close this today, we don't, because this candle will take another. Actually, you cannot see the values on the side. There we go. So if we would close this candle, which we only do in 13 days, then we would perfectly test on top of this high, which kind of is our all-time high if we reduce this high by inflation. So the inflation between this and that high has been higher than actually this high exceeding this high. So it would be a lower high purified by inflation. So that is in itself is not any big loss of price. In fact, I think we have pumped fairly early in the cycle, and now we're just gearing up for the next move, and I think it can take a while. Let's look a little bit down to the weekly. So this is how the weekly looks for us, and let's get the lines back in. Actually, we have to look at the monthly also, because we didn't see where we are in the cycle since a long time. But the halving is just here, right? This green line is where the halving more or less happened. We dumped afterwards. We pumped into it. We dumped. And as a wise man says, Bitcoin is first it's the dumpiest, and after that it's the pumpiest. Yeah, a very, very good rule of thumb. This is nothing too crazy. Some people are like, oh, Bitcoin lost the 50 MA, whatever moving average. Doesn't matter. We are above the all-time high, the previous all-time high. We're sitting on top of this support line. Bitcoin looks strong. The indicators are cooling off on the weekly, ready for the next move. Let's go back to the monthly, because there's something we want to look at. The first thing is we don't want to have the orange line significantly go into this area here on the stochastic RSI, because then really that would be bad. The blue line doesn't matter, but we don't want to have the orange line of the stochastic RSI in here. So that is one thing. The other thing is, if we're comparing RSIs, and now maybe we need the, actually we were in the logarithmic, it just didn't zoom out. Let me just quick, okay, there we go. Let's get, oh no, we need the lines. Sorry that's so clumped up there, but we need all of that. The RSI, it peaked to 76, now it's at below 70 again. Quite frankly, that did not happen in the other cycles, but we came back to 71 in this cycle here, and I still believe that we are mimicking the 2017 cycle. So I think that just this breather that Bitcoin takes will be longer because it didn't take it earlier. So kind of the Bitcoin ETFs, they brought it a little bit out of the rhythm, right? So let's see the chat. So Nico's still sleepy, which I can understand. Go grab a coffee. Dark Matter says, "Let's go. Glad to have you back." Vladimir, thank you. As I said before, I'm happy to be back. Vladimir Columbat is here and says, "Hi, patient. Thanks for the stream. I need to be going to sleep. Can start talking about Omi faster." Unfortunately, you can watch it later, Vladimir. I'm happy too, but usually we are going from the crypto to from the broader crypto cycle to the Omi cycle, or to the Omi chart. So unfortunately, we're not there yet. But you can watch it a little bit later, maybe, and then you will still see what I was saying. Green Lantern says, GMPH, good to have you back. Cold here compared to Italy. Yes, absolutely. I must say, I was born in the north of Germany, so I am from way up there, right? So for me, the Munich weather is already an advancement. However, in Italy, is like it was especially in Calabria, it was so hot that you just don't want to move anymore. So I can understand that in comparison to Germany, that at 3 p.m. no one is standing on the roadside and building a new road, right? In this degenerate heat. So, but for me, I mean, I was on vacation, so you grab a cold drink, you go into the water and whatever, but definitely not an environment to work hard. So yeah, and then I came back. It's the funniest thing. We drove back. We drove the way all the way from Rome to Munich in one day. So we went into the car in Rome, like um, t-shirt and Bermudas, right? Go into the car. So I have had to get out of the car in Austria in the mountains to when we crossed the Brenner, which is the passage from across the Alps, and it was like 13 degrees. And like, damn, why did I why did I put on the shorts, right? So yeah, slight miscalculation there. Anyways, new plan says, I don't think we are mimicking any previous cycles. The fact that we had a new all-time high prior to the halving already suggests that. I would dispute that, just because this is not a significant all-time high. I know that it is on paper an all-time high, but maybe can we get a line from the line on the all-time high? How many percent is that? So you go from that wick all-time high up to this is a 5.76% move. And that's generous because I think I took a little bit of that wick here with me. I think it's, yeah, I took it from, so it's less than, it's probably only 5, right? So, so now from here to here, that's more than 2 years. And if you calculate inflation number, so like let's say we had only 3% inflation per year, you would need this all-time high to be 6% inflation purified above this one, and then you would say, okay, that's not even a break, right? This is already not a significant break, but purified by inflation, that's not even a break, right? And we could say that. We could argue that, oh, now we are starting to purify, or now we are starting to clean up by inflation. Well, I think it's valid because I think it's valid to make the analysis excluding inflation, because it would be like it's like look at value or look at price, right? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But I like to look at it this way. I want to see an all-time high, a significant all-time high, like not only a couple of thousand more, because every time we put in an all-time high in previous cycles, like here and here, we kind of, when we only did, you see this here, when we only did a little bit more, yeah, and then we came back down. And then we had a significant break, like the significant break way above, right? So real big pump. I want to see that first, and then see where it's going. So yeah, we didn't have that yet, but I think we're still on track. So this cycle is, in my opinion, it is different because of this early pump of the ETFs, but we are realigning at the moment. Let's see more comments here. PH, I made it. Long time no see, my fellow Degen. Hey Omicron, what's going on? Good to see you here. Vladimir says, okay, I'll watch it later. See you then. Dan O says, epic FUD stream with Kvel packs and God's entry earlier. God's entry called Omi a dead token and that he wants nothing to do with it. That it's untradeable. It's interesting because so already getting into that stuff, it's interesting. I didn't see the stream, so I'm going to watch it. But it's funny because there are many people that say, okay, Ecomi is a dead token, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Yet they go on and make entire streams about it. They make videos about it. They make Twitter content about it. So there must be something that is still with Ecomi worth talking about. And why would you talk about a dead token? Because usually a dead token shouldn't catch much attention anymore. It's like Terra Luna. It was getting attention when it collapsed, but once the collapse was over, no one talked about it anymore, right? So you couldn't really make content about it. So yeah, this is what I would take as an evidence against that. And maybe we're already in the topic, so maybe we'll just skip all the Bitcoin stuff for today. Actually, do we? Let's maybe look at two things, but I'm going to definitely skip the macro stuff. So I just quickly want to show you this here. So in the last week we had Bitcoin ETF outflows of 8,595 Bitcoins, and that is where we see, okay, institutions are in, rest is not in, and when the institutions are offloading, we have a dip. Okay, so to be fair, God's entry is the one that didn't want to talk about it. Oh, okay, and I see. I will watch it. I will watch it. Yes, I think it was in the middle of the night for me, so no chance. But I will watch it. So we see here that the Bitcoin ETFs, they are offloading. And I think what's going on is that we have kind of a shakeout situation. So if we put this a little bit more here, so you know this Wall Street cheat sheet like thing where you have different phases. So you have accumulation, trend, emergence, momentum building, first sentiment extreme. We all had that, right? So we could definitely agree that our last Bitcoin top is this first sentiment extreme. And now, usually in that there is a bear trap, and this could be it, right? This reaccumulation, so to say, that we are seeing here. This could be the first bear trap, right? Of this whole thing. So, and then we will. This is exactly what we're seeing. We need after that a renewed optimism, because there are so many people that are like, oh, early cycle top, that's it. This and that is happening. The market is falling apart. The world is crashing and burning and whatnot. So then once there is a new significant all-time high, and we're going to talk about what it could be in a second. Once there is a new all-time high, there will be renewed optimism, and people are like, oh, the cycle is actually not over. And then when it pumps more, FOMO kicks in. That's where retail is going to join the party. So I'd say this is 86K and this is 100K, for example. So significantly above and then going on. And then absolute euphoria, there will be something probably that is going to, something like, I don't know, a country declares that they need to put Bitcoin in the balance sheet to survive or something like that. That could mark the top. Yeah, and then all the bear market stuff that we didn't have. So today we will have a lot of FOMC members speaking. So just so you, not only today. Today we will have 2, but then Tuesday 4. No, actually all of them, and then Thursday 1 more. Here we see it also a little bit. So if the future is like the past, Bitcoin would consolidate another 40 days, and then it would be going on the next run. So this is, if we were to mimic from here on out the 2017 cycle, we would consolidate those 40 days more, and then we go. And that would be still completely on track with that previous cycle. Although this projection brings us to, here you can see it on the side, it would bring us to 640,000 and beyond, which is, I think it's a little bit out of what it should be, right? So, yeah. Okay, whales are loading up. So for Bitcoin, the wallets with 10 plus BTC, they are on the highest in the last 2 years. So where others are fearful, these are buying, and which is why, because they know that this is going to happen. So here's stock to flow model from Plan B, updated for this month, and we're just on the brink. We're just on the verge of a massive melt up, according to this model. I mean, we could consolidate a little bit more. And what is just a little blip on this model is an entire month for Bitcoin, right? So even if we would go an entire month sideways, we wouldn't really see anything on this model. So we'll see how it plays out. But definitely, if we're looking on charts like this, for example, I think we're good to go to move higher finally. We also saw this here, right, at this verge. There's a little blip in the price, and also here there is some kind of resistance sees in these bands where the yellow band occurs. So we will see how it plays out, but I think it's definitely stronger. So now let's get to Ecomi, because everyone is eager to talk about Ecomi. The Ecomi price is still going lower. Yeah. So here's the monthly. I think we see it best on the weekly though. What's happening? Here we go. So all-time low is way below where we are right now, because basically we have a weekly wick down there, but we are still red, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles in a row. And hey Sven, what's going on? And New Plan says good news seems to only push the price lower. The new buzzword for the community is narrative. How many, when the insert buzzword comes, it'll go up? Have we heard so far? It's difficult to say, because as I showed yesterday, the reason for this big drop is a VC, or not a VC, but an advisor bringing or selling massive amounts of token. So let's see where this is. I had it open at least. Yeah, Omi Watcher here. So there were a couple of people that were looking at a wallet here, and that wallet had close to 4 billion tokens in it. And that wallet, so if we see here, so this is this is a streak of people of commenting one on each other, and one is more mad than the other one, right? So it's like this Richard guy that is known to spread more misinformation than real information seems to have found something that is actually true this time. So so here he's saying, you may wonder why price of Omi and VeVe token keeps falling and keeps falling. For that, we're going to analyze the token with Arkham Intelligence, and he basically looked at some wallets, and he said that there is a founder's wallet selling off, which is not true. After the Crypto Bro and Omi Watcher were looking into it, was actually that is an advisor wallet. This advisor wallet has gotten an initial token allocation, and and the people are going at each other over this. So now in the end, Omi Watcher said the good news is that they seem to have only 650 million tokens remaining from their original allocation, which means that wallet selling off is almost done, but it's not done yet, right? So this is one of the big reasons, and obviously together with that, you have traders like John's Cryptotherapy in the market that said before, if we significantly lose this support and there's no immediate bounce back, then he would need to see how low it can go, and you need to talk about selling positions. So this guy also has billions of tokens. Now there was a comment that I want to bring up here from my YouTube channel as well. So here are the comments, and there are a lot of them, and there was one that from my last video that said, is it wrong though? The advisor that sold off may still be in profit, but they could have sold off when prices were higher in the past 2 years. It's indicative of lost faith, in my opinion. And I will answer this in a written way in case this person doesn't see it. But Oh, it's Dan. Oh, so you are here. Okay, so you said that. I see it right now. So I think that's actually not true, because we saw that many times before. People were selling off as much as possible, or whales. You see these drawdowns here and then spike backs up and whatnot. But the problem is no one could offload big amounts of OMI because the volume was always, the liquidity was so low. So the problem is if you offload bigger amounts, you get this, a swift drawdown. So that means that, for example, you either put a sell order here at this price and then you sell a couple of thousand tokens and the price already drops. So then you have to replace the sell order here, you sell a couple of thousand tokens and the price drops. So that means that only a couple of thousand tokens are get sold at this price level, and then you have to sell here, and then you have to sell at this price, and so on. So the other option is to not always replace the sell order. You have to put a market order, which causes a swift drop in price. Also in this case, you only sell a couple of thousand tokens at each price point. So what they did is every time, and this explains why the price action is looking like this, every time the price comes up with a little bit more volume, especially here and here, they are placing bigger orders into the market and immediately dump the price down to get the price. But they never can get all of the tokens sold at this price because the price just dumped and there was not enough buying pressure so that the price could come back up and they sell another chunk of the tokens. So what they did is they sold at these prices, at these prices, at these prices, at these peaks, peak, they sold off, right? They and all the other ones like Bango Danzy and this advice, I don't know if maybe it's a wallet of Ben, who knows, right? But they were all selling off. And so now the price is down here. So you either sell here or you wait for a rebound. And this is what happened probably. Someone bought a big amount of OMI and they immediately sold on top of it. But you cannot just go and say, oh, I list 3 billion and tomorrow it's sold. It just doesn't work that way. Dan says, so they are looking for any opportunity to dump. Burns from circulating supply would have helped this issue a lot. Still hoping it comes. But now that the users are so low, not sure how much difference it will make until we hopefully get more users. So I think there are two things. We have more sell-offs since the total volume is a little bit higher here now. So you have buyers that are coming in, so you can sell off more on this, right? But they will still, as long as they have tokens to sell off, they will always overshoot the demand. But at some point there will be a seller exhaustion. The question is, will it be here or here or here, right? But the good thing is that these wallets, they want to sell off. The good thing is, and I would only say that if the price goes lower, the individual user has more power to buy more tokens from these guys, right? So at some point, hopefully, there will not be more tokens to be sold off. And then there will be seller exhaustion, and then there will be a real bottom and real turnaround. Now, the question is, and now the second point, burn mechanics. I think this, and so this brings me to what needs to happen, right? And let's make it like in the other stream. Let's put it here. So in the last stream, we discussed what we have and what is around the corner, like OMI to NFT, right? So OMI to NFT, sorry for that. So OMI to NFT is the next thing that's going to happen. It will not move the price because OMI to NFT is super important, but it will not move the price significantly. Because Ecomi to NFT just gives you the link that finally this coin is linked to VeVe in a real way, not in like, oh, soft staking and whatnot. And then you have exchanges, which we only saw, actually we have a net plus of only one exchange, right? Exchanges, okay? So exchanges will give us more of that volume. Yeah. Um, and there is actually something going on with regards to the exchanges, because at the moment we are at the Huobi. And if the community does a good job on Twitter, maybe we can also go on crypto.com. So right now there is this tweet here on crypto.com, the one crypto that's going to break the web. So some people are speculating, oh, that could be a reference to an Ecomi listing because of that Spider-Man here. But I think it's just to be fair, it's just they are like, oh, it's going to break the web, and Spider-Man is like, spider and web and whatnot. So they just make some cool stuff here. But for example, Mr. MC1 came in and said he knows this guy here who is the CPO, Chief Product Officer of Crypto.com, and he's like happy to connect you with David Yu. So I think there would not be a need to connect with David Yu if this was a reference to Ecomi, right? So these things are going a little bit against each other. But bottom line is, we could get Huobi and Crypto.com and maybe some other exchanges in the future, and just more exchanges piling up gives you more exposure to people that are looking for coins that haven't pumped yet, right? So that would be important. So this is, I'd say both are very important points for the turnaround of Ecomi. And then the third one is, and this is what you said, Dan, this is, it could happen, right? Strange coincidence, but it could happen. And then what you said is burns. And I think this is the only way where these other two will have a big effect, right? With burns, because you want to have the token to be deflationary, because deflationary tokens are very, very attractive to the Web3 space. So you want to have the burns, you want to have the exchanges so that people that hear about the burns can ape into the token, and you want to have OMI to NFT to justify that these burns are making a valid token more scarce. And I think this is, and from a ranking perspective, I would say they're all equally important. But if I had to rank it, I would say it's 1, 2, and then 3, like this, in a ranking matter, right? So you need burns, you need OMI to NFT, you need exchanges, or maybe you could switch. OMI to NFT is so important to justify. I cannot see another way. Oops. There you go. Let's get the ranking out. So everything else, in my opinion, is just doesn't matter. People are like, oh, what about VeVeverse? Who cares, right? It doesn't matter right now. You said the narrative. Yes, that's not something that you can bring on. It's just something that will happen at some point. There will be gaming. So there are different ways. There are different portals, gateways into how the narrative could come back to metaverse. One is that the gaming sector explodes, and then what's the next logical step? Oh, metaverse, NFTs, ownership, whatever. The other one is like at the moment there is all this stuff with tokenization and real world asset tokens and so on. Also that leads to like ownership, but for that, on the VeVe side, you want interoperability, you want the VeVeverse out. Then I think that is something that they should save for actually when NFTs already start moving and the attention is coming. Then you bring the VeVeverse, you bring interoperability, you list, basically you bring the VeVe collectibles onto Blur and other exchanges like that. That would be something for that. But I think what's necessary right now throughout the rest of this year is this. If we get Huobi, that would be really good on this side. Huobi, I think, will come. I think it's possible. I think it will be maybe it's already a done deal. Who knows? So Huobi will come, I think. And then from there, maybe hopefully we get some others like Crypto.com, which have big communities. That would be cool. But now that the users so low, not sure how much difference it will make until we hopefully get more users. Yeah, the user growth, I mean, that is really a thing of narrative, because no one is even looking for Bitcoin at the moment in the retail space. So it's very unlikely that you get users into VeVe. The matter of fact is that this is maybe something that you need to do. Web3, right? I said this in the other one, but you need to cater to you need to advertise and cater to the Web3 community. So all of this, whenever you have something like, what we always say is, if you are a chicken and you give an egg, you have to make noise around it, right? Otherwise, no one knows that you just gave an egg. So whenever you achieve some of these, you have to make big noise about it so that everyone knows. And the best way is not to put out a tweet where you then have 20 toxic people saying that it is a scam, but you really have to talk to some influencers and have them make a video about it. You have to get an Andre Jig and maybe a BitBoy and maybe, but not right now, because socials are not getting that much attention. It's like the attention on this channel and on every other channel around crypto is less than 20% of what it was in the bull run. So that is also a fact. But I think this is what we need, and maybe we just leave this in here and move it later to somewhere else on this chart, so that we come back to it and see if we actually get it, because we need all of that to happen, and then yes, somewhere there will be a turnaround, right? Okay, Taffy Jones, good morning. What's going on? Strange coincidences happen. So yeah, is this a coincidence? Don't know. I mean, it's not a VeVe collectible in that sense, right? It's just a Spider-Man hanging here. What else do we have? Oh yeah, so we had this with the payout. I talked about this in a video. Not going to go too deep into detail here. Drop calendar rabbits was yesterday, didn't sell out. It sold about 30%, I think, until now. A couple of comics coming up. So there are comics on the shop, on the comic store, and in the VeVe app. So there's a lot of comics, but they are still selling like crazy. So this is good. I think that at the moment we have a slow couple of weeks since Blackpink, so nothing too crazy at the moment from the drop side. Yeah, here we see maybe we can talk a little bit about statistics. So this is from the 15th, 2 days ago, Avru drop. Increased activity, 2,000 active wallets for June. Gross revenue, gems only, is $48,000. Gem purchases, $83,000. To about 20 new wallets. And yeah, we see here active wallets 2,201. That's actually not too bad. That's actually better than before. So it's a little bit more activity, although the drops actually are not so exciting. So it's interesting. Seems to be that that there are a couple of more wallets willing. Maybe that's the lower price point of the Aru drop. Maybe that's the chase factor of the secret rare. That drop, by the way, sold out. It didn't sell out immediately, but it sold out a day or so after. So here, this Gary Basement thing. Let's see if I can open it here on the. Yeah, there we go. I'm not logged in anymore, but here we are. So it was here you see it's sold out. Yeah, that thing actually surprised me, because I didn't think it will sell out, because look at that, there was over 2,000. So only this common thing here, is it a common? No, it's a rare. So this rare was 1.7k editions and it did sell out. So yeah, I personally am not a fan, but to each their own. Let's talk about market prices a little bit, because I think, so for me, I'm not willing to allocate too much into VeVe at the moment, but I also want to buy when prices are low. So what did I do? I bought some ultra rares. Here you can see my transactions. This is not the price that I bought it for cheaper. So I bought these VeVe exclusive covers. I think I bought this for 9 gems, and I bought this for 250 or 3. And here also Web of Spider-Man 32, I bought this for 250 and this for 6 something, and this one for one gem. So here and there, and I got the airdrop, and I don't know why there's not the floor price for this one, for the Amazing Spider-Man 47. Also, I saw that on Stacker it doesn't calculate the vault correctly, so it should be a little bit higher. Why is my portfolio value so high? Because the gold logo floor moved up to 7,000 or so. Yeah, so this is vault value. You can see, really, you can't really see that, right? Here we go. Yeah. So yeah, that's the situation of my portfolio. So what did I buy? I bought 6 comics and I got 1 airdrop collectible. That's basically it. Let's see here. So Dan O says, on the bright side, this feels like almost universal capitulation until VeVe either goes bankrupt or things turn around. Yeah, I think that there is a good chance. I don't think that VeVe goes bankrupt right now. I think unless people are completely stopping to buy, that's not going to happen. I think the revenues are still fine. You have to consider that everything that we see on these drops is only one side of it. At the same time, they are selling direct sales of comics all the time on the comic side. So if you're going to Mutascan and you're just looking at the sales on Mutascan, they are collecting fees. They are collecting, so they made I don't know how many, what was it, like 50,000 on the Avru drop, and with Gary Baseman and these designer drops, actually they probably get more out of it than with the other ones. But if you're just looking here, so only in the last couple of minutes there are I don't know how many transfers. Let's see. So for example, here's a mint, right? So someone minted the Fantastic Four comic. Yeah, then here's a mint of the rabbits, so people are still minting from the store. So it's like here 2 comics minted from the comic store. So this is happening like all within the last 30 minutes, right? So there's a lot of action going on, and these are just sales rolling in, right? So look at that, all within the last hour. So there's a ton of mints here, as we see here. Look at that, mint. So here, the comics minted like crazy, right? So it's all in the last hour. So people are, this is just a selling machine, right? I mean, you have to see, it's like in the last hour, everything of this that I'm scrolling has been minted. Look at that. All of that is like in the last hour of 2. So yeah, I don't think that the bankruptcy is really a thing here. As far as Omi goes, it's just whether they can pull it off or not. Let's quickly look at the tracker for the whales. And I think this is a good benchmark. I mean, whales must love these low prices. There are people that are really going crazy on this. Actually, did that update? That's not even updated since the last video. Yeah, actually it is. It is a little bit updated. So basically, if we're just looking at net accumulation, we see here, these are the top wallets. This Bezosman bought 200, and then number 2, 79, and then 808 purchases in the last week of wallet 5, and 13, and 78, and 109, 231. It's, yeah, I mean, people are buying in the top, I'd say top 50. There's only, as far as I see, yeah, in the top 50, there's only one, no, two. Here's a -1, but this person's also minting and buying. There's only one negative wallet, this one here. Net negative. So, and then if you look at the statistics, so either the top 50 is stupid, right? Or they just have a little bit more belief than the other people. So you see here really the numbers of collectibles piling up on these wallets, and they're stacking like by the hundreds. So, hey Chargasaurus, what's going on? Dark Matter Dan says, how many of the Spider-Man SR 40 editions do you have now? I got one, but contemplating getting another with the low prices. I have 3. Do I have 3? Yeah, I have 3, and I'm intending to get more. But at the moment, after traveling, I have to a little bit consolidate, and also I have to make a priority list, because if this dip continues to go on in crypto, and in OMI, especially in OMI, I am considering of getting to 5 million OMI, which would be another 800k OMI, which would be $200 or so. And I would 200 euros, but sorry. And I would, yeah, this is like, okay, I want OMI, I want other altcoins, I want comics, can't have all of them at the moment. But I have 3 of the 40 edition ones, and if I see a nice priced one, I might get another one. I have a lot more of these 1000 edition comic thingies. Like I have a lot of ultra rares and commons and so on. So if this does well, I think I'll be good. Although nothing compared to Energy, who has I think 60 of the 40 edition of the 40 edition comics, so super crazy. Yeah, and I might be just maybe we'll just go back and mint the one or the other just on stream and see what if we can get one of the more scarce comics. But probably it's better to just buy them off the market. And then there's also, I want to really, before this next run hits, I want to really buy a Grail comic. So yeah, the prices at the moment are coming my way, so I really want to do that. But that's it, guys, for today. Smash up the like button for the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the current situation with Ecomi and VeVe, with Bitcoin and crypto. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. Enjoy your coffees. I will enjoy mine, and we see each other on the next stream here at Crypto Morning Coffee. Have a good one, everyone.